My apologies, folks. Looks like I just fixed the audio here at the moment. Welcome to Fire and Dice's Results May Vary number 21, featuring Josh Sellers playing 5-color humans. And Sam Kennedy is his opponent on Esper Control, kind of the flavor of the week at the moment. I believe it won, or not didn't win, but it made it to the finals of a recent SCG. Not this past weekend, maybe 2 weekends ago. But either way, Josh Sellers is our Results May Vary volunteer this evening. He, as I mentioned, he's playing 5-color humans, and he's got 2 Aether Vials down at the moment to Sam's 3 mana. Esper Charm? Ooh. So does that draw 2 cards? Or is that discard 2 cards? Oh, he's going to get a discard out of Josh. And Josh has some easy discards in the form of Aether Vial and another Ancient Ziggurat. With his 2 Aether Vials currently going right now, he's very content. Not only that, he does have a Horizon Canopy, so he can crack that for value whenever he pleases. Sam, on the other hand, plays a Godless Shrine tapped. We're going to get a, like I said, we are going to get a crack on this Aether Vial. I'm sorry, on this Horizon Canopy to get things kicked off. Thalia joins us. Both vials tick up at 3 and 2 respectively, so both at a good clip. I believe Josh actually also has this Kitesail freebooter that he's looking to deploy right now. Unfortunately, also has another Thalia, which means basically he's a -1 card in hand with 1 in play. Now Sam has got to figure, yeah, what do I want to do here? And so the tricky part here is that the mana for Sam is very good. He could take any 4 of these spells, Teferi, Supreme Verdict, Fatal Push, Path to Exile, but a land off the top is going to let him cast this Teferi. It doesn't matter which removal spell necessarily Sam takes. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, I forgot about the Thalia. It doesn't matter what removal spell Josh necessarily takes here because Sam will have 1 for the Thalia. And eventually he'll have another one for this Kitesail freebooter as well. So we'll kind of see how that works out for him. There is no fetch land currently for Sam, which means that Fatal Push would not be able to kill a Mantis Rider, for example. But it looks like Josh doesn't have that because he... Oh, here's a Thalia's Lieutenant, so we're going to get some pressure going here. Sam likely to fire off this Path to Exile somewhere. I mean, just to prevent himself the damage, it seems worthwhile, but I don't know. So Sam paying the 2 for Path to Exile on Thalia. Josh is going to get to, I don't know about fix his mana, but he's going to get at least 1 basic. I believe it's Plains. Yes, he's going to get a Plains. Comes into play tapped. And then Sam draws for his turn, finds another Path to Exile, so he's going to be able to get his Fatal Push back. So the turns have been rather kind to Sam. He has access to, you know, a bunch of removals. Snapcaster Mage is also reasonable. It blocks on the ground, gets a removal spell out of the bin. So I think Sam's in a reasonable spot. Josh, however, is going to need to draw some kind of special cards here. He draws instead he just draws a Cavern of Souls. He has double Cavern and a Thalia in hand. I don't know about this sequence in particular. We'll see how it goes for him. He knows of the Snapcaster Mage in Sam's hand. Sam's going to take 2 here, maybe? Potentially? Doesn't seem particularly bad. He does have access to Supreme Verdict. He could verdict the board away if he so chose. So here comes a Snapcaster Mage. Okay, cool. So now Josh can kind of... So Josh probably doesn't want to overextend his Thalia into this Path to Exile. Yep. Sam gets back a Fatal Push for his troubles. And yeah, Josh's draw has not been very good to him. He's only drawn 3 creatures, 2 of which, or 4 creatures, but 2 of them were Thalia herself, not just lieutenants. Looks like he's going to go ahead and hard cast this Thalia. It does turn off Teferi. It does also turn off... I mean, Teferi wasn't going to happen regardless, but it does turn off Wrath. So Josh bought himself a turn of protection from the Wrath, but there is both another Path to Exile and a Fatal Push in Sam's hand. This Snapcaster Mage was known from prior through a Kitesail freebooter, and it looks like we're just going to go ahead and get another Yep, another Path to Exile here. Oh, Fatal Push. Interesting. Interesting. I guess Path to Exile does deal with what are they called? Does deal with Mantis Riders, which is important in this particular matchup. Here's a Jace the Mind Sculptor for Sam instead. I believe Josh is still on 2 lands in hand. Nothing going on with these Aether Vials. But what does Sam want to do? Maybe he takes a look at the top card. Maybe he brainstorms. I mean, he does need land, so finding some land would be reasonable. But he's going to go ahead and tick up. He sees, it looks like a land on top. Here's an Anafenza. Okay. All right, so while Sam is tapped out, Josh is actually going to be able to at least somewhat deal with this Jace the Mind Sculptor, and they're not even very good. They're not even very good bounce targets, primarily because we've got 2 vials going on over here. But Sam does get to untap with a Supreme Verdict. He's going to save the Jace, and it gets exiled by Anafenza's effect. And and Josh is going to get swept here, but I mean, there's not a lot he can do. He's got to commit to the board, and he's got to try to get this Planeswalker off the table. But yep, Wrath happens, and he's going to go ahead and brainstorm. He does need to find, like I said, he does need to find a land. Finds a polluted Delta, or no, is that like a Scalding Tarn? It's an Expedition for sure. He's going to shuffle away some of these slower cards. Perhaps, doesn't have to, of course, could just wait till his upkeep. Josh draws his card. It doesn't look like it's going to be anything favorable. It is a Meddling Mage, so yep. There's not a lot in that particular position. He needed specifically a Mantis Rider just to get rid of that Teferi, but we all also knew Sam had access to a removal spell in hand, so that was not going to go his way. So this does seem like a particularly difficult matchup. I also would like to point out I have a sideboard guide here, the exact one that Josh is looking at the moment. So Dylan Hand came up with a sideboard guide. So let's see. Let's go towards some control matchup. Actually, there's not a single control. Nope. Oh, Azorius Jeskai control. Okay, so against control matchup, it looks like he's going to need something a little bit different. But he says Dylan Hand doesn't like Reflector Mage or Thalia's Lieutenant in this matchup. He's going to bring in 1 Sin Collector, 2 Knight of Autumn, a Comball, and 3 Deputy of Detention. I don't know how good that is. Could be pretty good. Like, I guess Deputy of Detention to help deal with problematic permanents such as Planeswalkers. Comball to deal with just like the spells in general, just, kind of extra damage where he wouldn't normally have it. And then the Knight of Autumn's, again, also to deal with, something like a Search for Azcanta. And then Sin Collector is just good value. I actually don't even know if Sin Collector is in... No, it's not even in Josh's side. Oh, no, it is. It is in Josh's sideboard. Okay, cool. So he's got that going for him. I think Damping Sphere is probably not where he wants to be. Auriok Champion, neither. So, yeah, I think I can see this particular sideboard plan working out for him, but I'm not sure. We'll see. Josh will be on the play here. Sam Kennedy is packing the Angels in the sideboard. Looks pretty good. He's going to immediately board out the Nal spell bombs. Looks like he boarded out some number of Thoughtseize as well. Esper Charm, probably a little slow in this matchup. Was fine there, but also only got 2 non-cards from Josh's hand, right? So it looks like, the Angels came in, Negates came out, Spell Bombs came out. Although Spell Bomb is fine with Fatal Push. I mean, that's a consideration at least. You don't want to have to do that, but sometimes you need the option to not fetch. See how that goes. So after I don't know, about a quick 10 minutes, Sam kind of wrestles control there through a Jace the Mind Sculptor, fought through 2 Thalias and a Kitesail Freebooter to make it so, but kind of tough. I mean, Josh's hand didn't really develop for him there. He drew 5 land total, 6 land total, 3 Aether Vials. So Aether Vial flooded, even though that's kind of what he wanted in that game. And then just didn't really get to develop from there. And spelled obviously that lost him the game. But as we look forward, I just want to remind everyone that this is Fire and Dice. My name is Chris. We were watching our series Results May Vary, where we take one player the whole evening and we feature them. Win or lose, no matter what their record is, even if they go 0-4, we're featuring one player throughout the whole night and their deck, just so we can get a kind of an idea of what this person thinks about Modern and how they play their matchups. And perhaps they can go back and look at the VOD and, see some places where they could improve, or just in general, we're trying to give players as many looks at the different modern decks as there are. I mean, featuring a different deck every match is definitely good entertainment wise, but isn't necessarily good kind of like from a learning perspective. That's a question that we have sort of, but for the most part, watching the same match, or I'm sorry, watching one deck face multiple different decks over and over and over gives us a greater sense of how that deck performs against the field, right? And that's just going to give everyone a little bit more of a kind of an idea of how the format shapes up when presented with different kinds of threats and answers. But yeah, I mean, we're not doing it completely for noble reasons, obviously. Like Josh, for example, actually he's one of my co-casters. He's one of the people who primarily commentates with me on Tuesday nights, and when we do other streams, we're actually going to be doing one for the kind of early streamer event next week for War of the Spark. Tune in for that. We'll have some details on our Facebook page, Twitter, and also Instagram. But yeah, anyway, we're going to get down to game 2 over here. And Josh is on the play. His hand looks sort of okay. I mean, it's got an Aether Vial and 1 land, but I think it needs a second land to really, really start cooking. Or is it land heavy? Looks like 2 of those are lands. I see an Unclaimed Territory, what could be another Unclaimed Territory, or otherwise an Ancient Ziggurat. And then an Aether Vial, a Phantasmal Image, but it doesn't look like it has the elements to disrupt Sam from the get-go. And Sam even has this Engineered Explosives. So yeah, Josh is going to ship it back. Not quite happy with what he's seeing, and I don't blame him. I think he definitely needs to find hands that A, are aggressive, but also B, are disruptive. It's a feature of the 5-color humans deck. It's not the same way that Delver is disruptive with counter spells. It's a little bit more proactive. It commits to the board more. So you are vulnerable to sweepers, which of course Sam has in different quantities. And I mean, Sam just has tons of removal. I mean, I'd have to take a look. Let's see. Hold on. Maybe I can pull up a list similar at least to what Sam is playing. I'm not going to say it's exactly what Sam is playing, but let's see. I'm trying to find this Esper deck. Oh, did he not? I thought he made it to the finals. Anyway, so I don't know if. Oh, it doesn't look like this is the version that Sam is on. Okay, so like one of the newer versions of Esper is running Kaya as kind of like a valve, safety valve. All right, so Josh actually leads again with Aether Vial here off of Cavern of Souls, most likely naming human. Pretty decent start for him, so I like where he's at, but he is short a land, it looks like. So here comes a Champion of the Parish. Yep. And if he has a second one, that's pretty reasonable, but I'm not sure. Missing a land drop there hurts quite a bit. He could have vialed in his Champion of the Parish and then also played Athalia. That would have been a very good turn for him. But here he's very limited. The 1 land is gonna prove very difficult to operate with. So we'll see how he navigates. Island the draw for Sam, and his hand looks pretty stacked. I mean, I see a Path to Exile, and I see the Engineered Explosives that he opened with, and I believe it's a Hieroglyphic Illumination, which gets through Thalia a little bit, lets him, and there's the EE for 1. EE for 1 is devastating for Josh right now, actually. Finds another land, though, thankfully. And let's see, what does he choose to do here? I like leading with Thalia, and then maybe. Actually, I like vialing in the Thalia because then you turn off Sam's 1 mana responses here, right? Okay, so let's do that first. I actually like that quite a bit. There's also a mage in Josh's hand. A Sin Collector, I shouldn't say mage, I'm sorry. I believe Sin Collector is actually a cleric. Yeah, he is, a human cleric. Alright, so here comes, we're going to get some rumbling right now. Champion of the Parish going to deal some damage, gets in for 4. Puts Sam to 15. I would not be very surprised if we got a, if we took a small break from this, Engineered Explosives, which could otherwise be very good, because Sam for sure needs to deal with this board. First, Thalia needs to go, and then we need to deal with this Champion of the Parish. So if he has spot removal, I think this is the spot for it. Unfortunately, he's going to let Josh untap with Aether Vial, but I think the damage is done. Like Josh is on 2 cards here. The Aether Vial going up to 3 would be very reasonable, but I mean he has access to 12 2 drops, something, or no more than that, like 16 to 18 2 drops. So I mean he might just have to bite the bullet here. Because he for sure needs to deal with this Thalia. It's going to be an ongoing problem for him. It actually did he land? If it's a tap land, that's even worse. Because then he won't be able to deal with 2 threats. He'll only be able to deal with one. No, he does have a fetch land. It's another fetch land. Okay, so he's set on lands, and he's going to pass the turn. Aether Vial is going to go up to 3, and I think, yeah, unfortunately, he just has to let that happen. That just has to be kind of a mechanism of this turn. I believe Josh has another... Is that another Champion of the Parish in hand? It does look like another Champion of the Parish. So he's got some play here. I like the attack. And then, I guess mid-combat, he could flash in the Sin Collector. Although it's fine here. So we got a Sin Collector coming down. Triggers. Sam's going to have to give up something here. Oh, looks like we're going to get a Path to Exile first. Path your Thalia. Josh has no response here. We're going to take a look at the hand, though, and this is going to be... So, it also unlocks Josh's hand. The Champion of the Parish is going to get a ton of damage in. I mean, this is very slowly spiraling out of control for Sam. Sam's going to fetch. Probably has Fatal Push or another Path to Exile. I haven't seen his hand very clearly recently. Takes another 2, goes to 12. But if he has to Path to Exile this Champion of the Parish, it weakens his engineered explosives a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. Certainly more than he'd like. But he just can't take this damage. It's a lot. Especially now that he's already paid for the... So these triggers are still on the stack is what it looks like. So Path to Exile, taking out yet another Champion of the Parish. And then we're going to take a look at the hand from Sam. He's going to end up taking 2, go to 10 here. We could take a Sweeper. We could take a removal spell. It looks like Sam has nothing. He will be able to blow up this Aether Vial later, though. But the Baneslayer Angel is super problematic. I don't know if Josh boards out Reflector Mage here. It looks like he does board out all 4. But he will have kind of some safety against this Baneslayer Angel in the form of Deputative Detention. And the fact that also this Thalia's Lieutenant can get, somewhat large as well. And Sam is, notably, he is 2 turns away from casting that. Next turn and the following turn. Which means that Josh is going to get in for 3 here, which puts Sam to 9. And then for 7, the following turn, which puts Sam's to 2. And that's not even including if any more humans get drawn off the top here. It could be problematic for Sam. All right, so there comes Thalia's Lieutenant. Rumbling through. That's a Field of Ruin for Sam. Not super useful here. And Sam does have access to double white here. I think he's going to want at least access to 1 blue. This is a ton of damage. And Josh, again, Josh doesn't have Reflector Mage, but Athalia's Lieutenant here is actually GG's. I'm pretty sure Sam can't beat it. Is it lethal? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it is lethal. So Sam is going to... Did he fetch? Oh, no, he Field of Ruined. And then he blew up the engineered... he blew up the Aether Vial. Kessig Malcontents would also do it here, right? Because this is 7. Yeah, okay. So Kessig Malcontents would be pretty reasonable, and then it's a Kite Sail Freebooter. That's not going to... Oh, well, actually, hold on. Wait. Champion of the Parish? I think this is enough. Oh, yeah, this is just barely enough. So this goes up to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, woo! Wow. Just across the finish line. That was pretty crazy. But yeah, Xaxes is going to get thank you, Jonathan Chickerly. Xaxes is going to get us a a game 3 here with 28 minutes left to spare. I mean, win or lose, I think this match is going to be, or this game is probably going to end within the next 10 minutes. I will try to set up another match for you guys. At the bare minimum, we're going to get Josh in here to talk about his match, his experience, see what that's about. But there was a question in the chat. Is there going to be a YouTube for the VOD or just here? So uploading the VOD or uploading VODs in general has not been our normal policy for Results May Vary, namely because I'm very bad at video editing, so I can't get an intro or an outro. But I might just bite the bullet. I mean, at this point, if we're just not uploading videos, that's like not a benefit to us anyway. So we might as well upload videos. So I think from here moving forward, as many times as I can, I'm going to upload the VODs of Results May Vary, just to kind of give people, more content that we're providing and more value for tuning in, essentially. And to also answer Daldrath, so they're actually using the normal mulligan rule. No London tonight. I actually don't see how the normal mulligan or the London mulligan will benefit humans too much. I mean, obviously they get to keep the perfect mix of land and spells for whatever hand they need to operate. But yeah, I think overall, we're gonna see some pretty just like straight up humans just doing well because it's a resilient deck. It's got game versus the format and so on and so forth. But here, going to game 3. Sam's hand looks decent. It looks like it's got a Path to Exile. I can't tell what that white card is. Is that Oblivion Ring? That's not possibly Oblivion Ring, right? There's like better versions of that. Josh gonna send his back. I didn't quite make it out. I saw Thalia, but is probably short on lands or didn't have an Aether Vial, which is, I think, Aether Vial is mission critical in this particular matchup. Like, it allows you to really get under. I mean, not just get under the Esper control thing, but get around them. Like, you get to fight through sweepers. You get to kind of reset your board, at double the speed because you're cheating on mana and at also, instant speed, etc. So it's just very strong. It's going to allow Josh to kind of like leverage the somewhat diminutive bodies of his creatures so that he can, as we saw that turn, just kind of like Xaxes his opponent, stuff like that. So. But yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. This is round 2 of our modern event over here at Fire and Dice. My name is Chris. This is result. Oh, is that 5 land? Oh no, it's a 2-lander. Actually, it's a pretty decent hand. It's got a Noble Hierarch and a Thalia and a Sin Collector. I think that is. Might be a Meddling Mage. Not sure. And that's one of the things about, in particular, that's what's really good about like the 3-color control decks is that they get access beyond Path to Exile. They get access to yet another spot removal spell. So Esper is going to have access to both Path to Exile and Fatal Push, whereas Jeskai would have Path to Exile and Lightning Bolt, sometimes even Lightning Helix. So looks like we're going to get is there a path now? Oh, we're going to get the Push instead. So Push resolves. Ooh, this is tricky. I wonder if Josh wants to lead with the Thalia or the Champion of the Parish. I think, unfortunately, he has to take a turn off on the Champ and get the Stallion in play because it's going to slow down Sam somewhat. He's gonna fetch here, and he's probably gonna have to do something on his turn. What that is, I'm not sure. But I mean, I don't think you can let the Thalia live too long. So we've got a Godless Shrine Watery Grave in play right now, so access to his entire deck at the moment. He will need a double blue eventually. He will need double white eventually, but he'll get there. Seems reasonable in a deck with all fetch lands. All right. So still having access to Path to Exile here, Sam is going to pass the turn. He's going to let Sam... Oh, I'm sorry. He's going to let Josh untap with his Thalia. And I think that's probably fine. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I don't know why I was rushing for it, but it does seem fine. Sam is going to take the 2, go to 17. That I'm less certain about. Looks like he's thinking about Meddling Mage. So Champion of the Parish is going to be the first card down. The problem is this is a little weak to a sweeper. But then that means it will be a 2 for 3, not a 3 for 1. There's a chance that Josh is not naming human with this unclaimed territory. So we're gonna get a. Oh, it does name human. Huh. Oh no, it looks like it's naming wizard, which is a feature of both reflector mage and deputy of detention. So here we go with meddling mage. What's it gonna name? Josh or Sam has a response here. He's gonna go ahead and fatal push away Thalia. And I think, at least I would feel, that Josh probably named Supreme Verdict here. Seems like a reasonable name. I think a Jace this is an okay play, but actually no, it's not. He has access to both engineered explosives and Path to Exile here, and I can't make out the fourth card in Sam's hand. I mean, is there a world where Sam can like play Jace tick up? Maybe. I don't know what Meddling Mage named though. We're gonna go ahead and take a look. I mean, definitely didn't name Jace. But now Sam's gotta figure out what he wants here. He's gonna brainstorm. All right, so it's a fog, and it allows Sam to kind of like reset his hand. There is a Teferi in there, which is pretty decent. Last I checked. Does Sam have triple blue? Godless. Yeah, he does have triple blue. So the cryptic command is also gonna be very good. That could have also been one of Josh's names, to be honest. And here's the thing, Sam saw this last game. He saw Sin Collector, so he's gonna want to probably hide something at the top of his library. We'll see. Night of Autumn, the draw for Josh. Not sure I love that. Also can't be cast. I believe it's a knight. It is a Night of Autumn. It's a Dryad Knight, so I doubt Josh can actually cast it with cards in hand. Oh no, is that another unclaimed territory? He might be able to. If it's an Ancient Ziggurat, all the better. It's not. But that's going to do the trick as well. Josh takes 1. Oh, and a Fenza. Okay. So we get a dead Jace, and then also Sam takes 2. Goes to 15. Snapcaster Mage is the name for Josh, actually. That's pretty interesting. So now we have 2 engineered explosives for Sam, I believe, in hand. Oh, no, he hit it off the top. Yeah, Sam in a little bit of trouble here. His hand, as control decks tend to be, is very reactive, but there's not like a clean answer to the board. He's going to be able to deal with like things one-on-one on a one-for-one basis, with the exception of this cryptic command that will be able to tap the team, and Josh, he gets another, basically fogs the team, but And engineered explosives for 3 is not very good, I think. And engineered explosives for 1 is probably okay. So yeah, engineered explosives for 2 might signal that Sam has the Snapcaster Mage in hand. I don't, he doesn't, but does he? No, he doesn't. He has Teferi in hand instead. Is that another Anafenza? That'd be awful. No. What is that? Can't tell. Accidentally closed the chat. Sorry, guys. Just want to make sure I'm in there. All right. Yep. Josh is going to go to combat, but it doesn't look like Sam is going to let him. At least not without cracking and then popping the explosives. So he's going to path. Oh, so he has path plus, okay, plus blow it up, and then he's only going to take 3 here. So path. Yep. And now Josh is going to go ahead and search. Acceptable. All right. He's going to get Plains. I think Plains is better. Yeah, I was going to say Plains is probably better overall. Allows him to cast some of the sideboard cards with a little bit more ease. Plus, he has a Seachrome Coast in play already. So definitely going to be able to cast Deputy of Detention if it ever shows up. Stuff like that. And the thing is, maybe Sam's not in a rush to cast this to cast this Teferi. And he doesn't even want to crack the engineered explosives right now. So this is a crack for 5, puts Sam down to 9. A Teferi on the follow-up would be pretty decent, not going to lie. Looks like he's going to fetch, or he's going to go ahead and get this Horizon Cannon be out the way. Draws the island. Oh, wow, what a dagger. That's one of the worst draws possible, I think. And now Sam goes ahead and cracks it. Takes the 2 damage as like a, just to make sure that nothing else on the board shows up. Here comes Teferi. Maybe it minuses. Nope, does not. Sam, very, very fortunate there. Draws another path to exile. Gonna move to untap. And Teferi is gonna run hog wild on Josh. There's a deputy. So even if all right. So Noble Hierarch. Pump the jams. All right, that was just enough as well. But it looks like we're not going to get there. Instead, we're going to get a Deputy of Detention on Mr. Teferi here. And pass the turn. So now Sam goes to 8. Sam's hand is just Cryptic Command now. So there is a potential here. He can Cryptic draw bounce. Seems okay. To get back his Teferi. And then draw untap. And then potentially find something off the top that way. He has a pretty decent amount of mana. Then he'd have Cryptic up again if he draws Cryptic here. Don't know if he does. Playing it a little close to the chest. Looks like he's going to pass the turn over to Josh. It's a Kitesail freebooter for Josh here. Probably needs to check if the coast is clear. A Settle the Wreckage would be pretty bad. Another removal spell would be pretty bad. I think just in general, most things would be pretty bad. Kitesail freebooter coming down. Uncounterable. Looks like we're going to get a tap the team draw card from Sam. See how that goes. Needs to preserve his life total as much as possible. Keeps up mana to ensure that if he does draw a removal spell, it's live. Ooh, bounce draw card. Wait. What? What's happening here? Oh, no. It was draw a card, tap the team with the trigger on the stack. Which is probably fine. So there's actually, Sam's on nothing at the moment. A Wrath off the top would be unreal. Finds a Celestial Purge instead. Celestial Purge, only good against Kitesail freebooter. He will be able to do some blocks with the Celestial Colonnade, which is not the worst. I mean, that's something. But it's going to be not super impressive against a Knight of Autumn here. The Knight of Autumn, which is just going to crack in for 5, right? Another Horizon Canopy. That's an excellent draw for Josh. He's going to want to crack... sure. What is this? Here's a Kitesail freebooter yet again. Doesn't do much. Sam just, like I said, Sam just has that Celestial Purge in hand. I believe that's Celestial Purge. Yep, it is. Yep. Takes the Celestial Purge. Doesn't do a whole lot on this board because the freebooter can't attack anyway. The Knight of Autumn can, and Sam has to choose whether to take that hit or otherwise. And I think, wow. So Sam's going to take the 4 here, it looks like. Go to 4. I mean, if he trades, that's also not good for him. So he's going to take the 4. And then pass the turn. Didn't see what that was. Was not a wrath. So Josh hanging on by the skin of his teeth right now. Looks like a land though. Is there a chance he attacks with everything? No, he's just gonna attack with the knight. Sam offers blocks. Sure. And now Sam, I mean, Sam's life total is fairly high still, all things considered. Considering this particular board state, there is a cryptic command in Sam's hand. So we're gonna get a tap the team probably. Nope. Get in for 2. Put Sam to 2. I think Sam's gonna go for the Teferi here. He's gonna want his Teferi back, and we'll see how that kind of like lets him. How that lets him develop. So there's the Teferi first. Bounce your guy, draw a card. Finds a Kalitas. And then the top card is Field of Ruin. Not sensational. Actually, Sam is dead to this Kite Sail freebooter unless he minuses it. Yep. So he's gonna do that. Sam gets his Celestial Purge back. And so now what do we do? Oh, but then oh no, Sam is in a tough spot actually. So we know so Josh knows one card in Sam's hand. It's the Celestial Purge. We don't know the second card. I actually don't know the second card either. It must have been a land. But we actually get to Deputy of Detentions away this Kalitas, and then we also get to attack the Teferi down. But things kind of do have to go well for him. So first things first, I think we got to lead with the Deputy. The Deputy's gonna. Oh no, we're gonna get a cycle first. That's that's the freebooter. So we're gonna freeboot first. Make sure that there's nothing on the horizons here. So take the purge, sure. Oh, and then we know that that there's actually another Kite Sail freebooter off the top for Josh here, right? Because the 1 draw step, 2 draw. Yeah. So Deputy of Detention away the Kalitas, and I think so. Josh has to respect the Teferi, and I think we got to take it down. Yep, because it could just get out of control next turn. You know, even with just 1 untap, it's not a card that you can kind of risk leaving on the table. And so this has got to be a big draw step for Sam here. It is a Lyra. Oh, Lyra's a big draw for Sam. Cannot untap his lands faster. Ooh, Lyra's a huge draw. And this is like kind of like the cards that Josh is for sure unhappy to see right now. Josh, and we knew that there was another freebooter for Josh. So his next draw step is new for us, but it's I can't imagine it's better than Lyra. I can't imagine that there's something that could get rid of this Lyra. So we're going to get a booter down. It doesn't do anything. Sam has no cards in hand. We're going to go ahead and get rid of Cavern of Souls. This one, sure. All right. It's going to free up Sam's mana a little bit, get him a colored source. Oh, man. This is tough. I wonder how this is going to end up going because, you know, looks like we killed the Cavern Naming Wizard, which means that Sam will be able to counter an upcoming Deputy of Detention. I mean, that's a live draw for Josh, for sure. Looks like does he have is this a, ooh, Detention Sphere, what? Oh, no, so this could backfire if Josh draws. So now Josh has 2 outs. He has not only Deputy of Detention, but he also has Knight of Autumn. Oh, so now he does not have an out. So hold on. So now Sam goes up to 7. And this is looking real bad for Josh Sellers now. Because now he has to deal with 2 threats. And doesn't look like he's going to be able to do it. Yep, extends the hand, and Josh Sellers falls to Sam Kennedy. That was a tight Game 3. That was an insane Game 3. There was a lot of points in that game where Sam did not look like he was going to come back and get and do any damage. And there was even the turn where Josh was able to get rid of both Kalidas and Teferi in the same turn, and just like could not push through the final points of damage that would have won him the game. But yeah, so Josh is gonna be 1-1 going into round 3 here. We've got about 8 minutes left, so we'll see if we can get him for another a really quick interview. I don't think we'll be doing that. Let me double check. Yeah, it looks like we're actually going to be heading into round 3 fairly shortly. I do appreciate everyone's continued viewership. We are going to be going all night, so we've got 2 more rounds. Yep, 2 more rounds of Swiss, and we'll be heading into round 3 fairly shortly. We'll get Josh. Another time. Let me double check with him and see what's going on. But there is 8 minutes left on the clock, so that means as soon as they're done, or as soon as that clock winds down, we should be heading shortly into round 3. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We'll be back.